name's Claire Pierce and I am the mother of Beck Pierce, who's been a client with Toby for 2 years. Beck's first diagnosis of chronic fatigue was by myself. I'd watched her become increasingly tired and come home from squad training with really bad abdominal pain. So getting the diagnosis of CFS was in one way a relief because finally we knew what we were dealing with, but it was also pretty scary because a lot of people don't recover from CFS, and so the thought of having a child not be able to get through CFS was pretty scary. I think the hardest part was actually getting her to the point of acceptance that she had chronic fatigue. She actually ran the cross country at school and she was a contender to win it. And I had said to her, I think if you run the cross country today, it'll be the last physical thing you do for a long time. She ran it and she came home and she never really did anything after that. The plan for Rebecca from Lionel, the paediatrician, was that she was so bad she would be admitted to the inpatient program at the Austin. And I found the waiting period to get in there really, really difficult. I gave up work full time so that I could look after Rebecca because we still had about 2 or 3 months to wait before the inpatient program. I decided that if I was to think about what they would do in the hospital and try and replicate that at home, it was to remove all the stress from Rebecca's life that I possibly could. So she was on her path to recovery well and truly, but we both knew there was a long way to go and she certainly was nowhere near the fitness level that she wanted to be. So we started with Toby, and I actually knew Toby through friends because we live in the same community as well, so I knew a fair bit about him before we met him. And the first day that we met him, I remember, and I tell him this story all the time, just being astounded at how well and just fit and fantastic he looked. And I was contrasting that against what the paediatrician had told me about how he was probably the worst case he'd ever treated in terms of chronic fatigue. And I thought, well, if he can make a recovery from being the worst case to looking what he does now, this is going to be good. I'm happy with our choice. And I remember feeling huge relief the first, probably about the second or third session when I dropped Beck off and saying to Toby, it's just so good to be able to be Beck's mum now. So you can actually be her carer and I can go back to being her mum. Beck's amazing now. She's snowboarding in Canada as we speak. Once she found her passion of snowboarding, which is her current physical passion, she just turned into this exercise monster and junkie, and all the things that Toby had been working on with her in terms of extra training sessions and variety and really pushing herself all fell into place. Meeting Toby and Toby's program has been transformational and has been the foundation of ensuring that Rebecca never gets chronic fatigue again.